It's been a really long time since I've done any sort of a co-parenting update type of a video, so I am here to do that today. It's been, I don't even know, probably over a year since I've sat down and talked about like co-parenting. And I will say that over the last, we've been separated now and divorced for almost 7 years. And it has been like this. Where like there's really high highs and there's really low lows, and right now we're at a really great place, so I have no complaints. So yeah, it's up and down, and I feel like that's got to be the case with like any co-parenting or separated or divorced anything. Like I just feel like there's going to be good times and there's going to be bad times, and there's going to be times where you can communicate and things are fabulous, and then there's times where you're just like, grr. I think that he and I both having, and I think I'm sure I've said this before, but having a significant other in our lives is very, very helpful. And not because there's like anything, it's more, I'm trying to word this the right way. It's more of that we each have a sounding board. We each have somebody who's involved, like really involved and involved in the kids' lives and love the kids like their own. And then we also have somebody opposite to talk to. He doesn't really talk to my boyfriend, but my boyfriend like talks me down. So I'm able to talk to his wife though, and she and I are able to have really great conversations, and there's no hostility or hard feelings, or there's nothing weird. So we're able to kind of get from, wherever we're at to where we need to be peacefully. Whereas, me and my ex-husband may not be able to do that. Like it's just, it's not a surprise, right? That's probably normal for everybody. And then on my end, if I'm getting like, if my hackles are up, my boyfriend can be like, hey, you need to stop talking about this. Your texting is not good. He doesn't like, okay. So for example, me and my friend Megan text all day long. We have no problem understanding each other. Neither of us find our text confusing, nothing. My boyfriend will read my text and he's like, I don't understand you in text. So he'll be like, you need to stop texting and you need to call him tomorrow because your texting is confusing and it's causing problems. So things like that where it's like, okay, like I get it, fair, you're right. That could be, and this is like, he says it's me, but I feel like this is texting in general, where you don't hear tone through text messages. I mean, you can throw in some emojis and try to set the tone with emojis, but it can be misunderstood. So I'm still learning that it's best that I don't communicate through text unless it's just very like cut and dry, like, this date, this time, this is happening, that's it. And not try to like convey any emotion or feelings or thoughts or anything like that through text. That's something that I'm still learning. This far removed from it, granted, I guess texting was around then. It was like, iPhone texting the way it is now. So learning, that's something that I'm working on. I'm definitely working on my text communication with him all the time. I feel like that's something that I could always improve, but having that like significant other say like, hey, no, maybe they're right. Maybe you need to like calm down a little bit. Maybe you need to do this. I'm making it sound like we have lots of problems. We really don't. It's very cut and dry. It's very rare that we ever do have problems or that we don't see eye to eye on something. And more and more throughout the years, and as the boys get older, and they really, just kids get more and more difficult to raise, I think. As this happens, I find that we are trying to find more fluidity between the houses and, keeping the rules the same and, adhering to punishments given at either house, rewards, just the whole gamut. We're also seem to be finding each other a little more like flexible and a little more giving. Like I had Halloween this year. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. This is just the most recent example. Actually, I have another example. They shared Deacon with my boyfriend last weekend because they went to a club, like a trap club. So where they, you go and shoot clay pigeons or trap. Anyways, that. And they shared Deacon with me for that. I shared the boys, for example, for Halloween so that they could spend time with their little sister on Halloween. Things like that, where we're just kind of we're in a really good place where it's just like, yeah, that would be that's great. Like, go ahead. You can totally have them for that. And can I have them for this? And do you want them for this? And it's a really good place, thankfully, because there's been times where it hasn't been. So still learning though, still, constantly trying to be better and do better and always keep the boys and their best interest top of mind. It's just, I don't know, it's hard, but I would say still one of the hardest things is like the holidays. Christmas is always really hard for me. That's one where I'm just like, can I just have them for every Christmas? Like, I just want them for all the Christmases. So that type of stuff is really hard. And the way that our custody goes is that our judge thinks it's best, I'm sure he still practices this, that you don't swap kids on actual holidays. So there's no like half of, granted we did Halloween, but Halloween's kind of different. You're not like waking up Christmas morning at one house and going to bed Christmas evening at another house. He thought it was best because if there's any like hostility between the parents, that it could kind of ruin the day for the kids. So he thinks it's best that you do weeks. So, the way that like their weekends land and the holiday week lands, like they're going to have the kids for like 10 days straight, like throughout Christmas, which is hard. That's why my boyfriend and I like to run away on those years. 2 years ago we did Australia and we're running away again this time because it's really, really hard for me not to have them. So it's best that I'm just not there. At the same time though, I do think it's best that, we don't switch on the actual holidays. It's a hard pill to swallow. But once you've digested it, you're like, okay, I guess I could see why this is best. I guess I could see why the judge does recommend this. It's just, it's not my favorite, but it's, it is. I do. The years that I do have them for Christmas and I'm able to have them like, before Christmas Eve and do things with friends, and then on Christmas Eve and do whatever we want, and then on Christmas, and then spend the next day like Christmas hungover where you're just like still just rolling around in a big old mess. I love it. I love that. So it's better, I think, just to have that super quality over quantity, right? Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. That's just an update on how it is. I've been asked a whole bunch lately and it's good. Things are good right now. Things have been really good for a while. I hope they continue to be really good. I just think it's best for everybody, the adults, the kids, siblings, everybody. So anyways, that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.